Hello and welcome to Junior Achievement's virtual speaker series. Today we are going to be looking at career pathways, and our guest today is going to be sharing her personal journey. Welcome, Milette Manos. How are you, Millette?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. I'm fine, thank you. And Millette, you are the Vice President of Operations at Acclaim Management. So let's start with just talking about what you did after high school, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you do now.
All right. So I graduated from high school, very clearly had a clear plan that I was going to be a psychologist. So I went to Florida State University, got my 4-year degree in psychology, entered the world of social work, which I engaged in for about a year, helping mentally ill people access resources within the community. After about a year, I realized I loved the people, but didn't enjoy the system very much. My father recommended that I try my hand at doing mortgages, being a mortgage loan officer. So I took all the necessary examinations, became a loan officer, found that I loved it. Did that for about 15 years until the recession came in 2006, 7, and then ventured into property management from there. And that's what I've been doing for the last 14, 15 years or so.
So when you say property management, can you just explain to our students what that is, what that career is?
Sure. So when you are a property manager, you are maintaining the day-to-day operations of an investment property or a property for what we call an absentee owner, someone who doesn't live in the area. It's my job to look after it, as in making sure that it stays in good condition. Because I'm a residential property manager, it means that I deal with places that are considered housing for people. So that could be an apartment, a house, an apartment building, a townhouse, condo, etc. And I do things like maintain tenant relations, which means that I would, if a tenant has a repair issue, they would call our office. We collect the rent on a monthly basis, and cut the trees, limbs, and handle things like that. Our job is we want to maintain the value of the property for the owner, maintain a good quality of living in the property, so health conditions, and make sure everything is clean, sanitary, etc. And also act as a go-between between the owner and the resident of the property.
Okay, wonderful. So what does your week look like?
So one of the things I thoroughly enjoy about my job is that I do not have to stay in the office all day. I like getting out of the office. So in the morning, my days might start about 8 a.m. or so. I'll come into the office, access my email, messages, etc., consult with staff. In my position, because there are many different jobs you can have in the field of property management, but as the operations officer, I have a small staff under me that handles accounting, maintenance. Sometimes these people are stationed on site at a property. Some apartment complexes are very large, and so they may have an office on site, and with our company as management, we maintain the employees at that site. So I communicate with them and find out, answer any questions, and then most of my day, at least half of it, is spent speaking with contractors, vendors, residents, owners, and visiting the different sites that we manage to do certain things. When people move out of properties, I'm the one who goes into the unit to inspect it so that they can get their security deposit back. I go to the property to meet with a vendor to discuss an installation of sprinklers or whatever the property might need. I'm the person that handles that, and then speaks to the staff if they have any questions or issues about what to do on a daily basis.
So what is your favorite thing about your job?
I would say that my favorite thing is helping someone get housing. Actually, it kind of connects to what I was doing when I was a social worker. When I was in social work, I connected people with resources. So you had someone who had a need, such as clothing, or they needed a bus pass, or they needed something like that. It was my job to help them get that. Well, with property management, what I'm helping people with usually is housing. Finding something that fits for them, that works for them, and helping them with the paperwork to be able to get in. And many people are very grateful to have a roof over their heads, someplace that's safe, someplace they can call home. And I enjoy that. And I like being able to do that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That makes a huge difference. Really does. So if our students are listening and they wonder how do they get into this career, what advice would you have for them now?
I would say that there are many different paths you can take. Mine certainly was a bit unconventional, and it took me a while to get into property management. But right now, in the state of Florida, I would recommend that once you get your high school degree, that there are many schools around where you could get your real estate license. And truth be told, there is no specific license for property management. There are certifications for property management and designations, but there are not specific licenses. So I would recommend getting a real estate license because it does help, because you do have to interact with a lot of properties, and it's useful. But then I would start on the ground floor with a management company. The next certification, depending on which area of management you want to enter. For example, you could specifically focus on managing condo associations or homeowners associations. You could specifically manage property for a developer that builds an apartment complex, and they need someone specifically just to manage the 500 units that they've developed. So figure out maybe which direction you want to go into, and then get the certifications for that particular area and begin. I say just dive right in. And if you find that it's not exactly what you're looking for, and there's a different area that you think might fit better, there's no harm in switching gears and changing from that point.
Right, because we've all done it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Millette. This was great information, and thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.